This is AchieveRadio.com. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/AchieveRadio.
Hi, I'm Ann Marie, and thank you very much for showing up in the archives or here with me if you are. And today we are going to discuss Christ consciousness, Pope Francis, America, and the absurdity of a liberal flower child living with a Republican NASCAR beer drinking Republican Rush Limbaugh fan. Now, yes, I know we are opposites. And perhaps the most difficult time is when you're enthralled with the scene of Pope Francis coming in on a plane and all his modesty and humbleness, and then finding that your Republican hubby will say things like, he's a liberal hack. Well, I guess, that makes the difference between conservative thinking right now and with all the rest. I think that Pope Francis has arrived today. He's called the People's Pope because he likes to be right out in the crowds, especially with sick people and with the handicapped and the poverty-stricken areas. I guess it's very difficult to get this Pope to think about safety because a lot of times he'll go running into the midst of a crowd right when he sees someone that looks like they need him. And in fact, I would say of all the popes, he's probably one of the least material and most like, I would say, Christ. And I'm not saying that he is, I'm just saying that he is everything that is exemplified in the conscious level of Christ consciousness, which of course Pope Francis is a Catholic, but everybody, I think, believes that he has come in America at a time when we have so many egos, fighting amongst themselves about immigrants and about big business and just all of the things that are actually quite against what the Bible and not even Jesus, but Buddha represents. My name is Ann Marie, and I believe in the teachings of Jesus and the wisdom of Buddha and the enlightenment of Christ consciousness. So what is Christ consciousness? About 2,000 years ago, Jesus walked upon the earth as a living example of Christ consciousness in action. Jesus never intended to be portrayed as an idol, one reveres so highly above themselves that they cannot see the truth. And right there is probably the biggest difference of so much where many churches are, where they have raised Jesus to the point of the only salvation and the only way of being. And I believe that Jesus wanted to represent a way of being. He told us that the kingdom of heaven is within us. And the only way to the kingdom of God is through Christ, but not through the idolization of Jesus, but rather through Christ consciousness and the example of his life. Christ consciousness is a state of mind, and it is the goal of lightworkers seeking to attain a spiritual journey in oneness with God and the universe. Restoring your individual Christhood is the full realization of your divinity, your divine mission, and the purpose of being here at this time. Jesus has made it very clear that one can meditate, pray, and help others all day long. But until you go within yourself and remember your own truth and take your rightful place as that truth, or to say, walk your talk, then you cannot truly be a Christ being. The son of a daughter of God that you are, nothing changes, and one is no closer to ascension than they were before. The only way to ascend the physical is by connecting through spirit within you. And Christ consciousness is what Jesus and Pope Francis came here to teach us by example. And it is the very essence of what Pope Francis has brought to America and to all of the other countries that he has been at, and living as a shining example of that truth, just as Jesus did. Then you can truly speak the words that Jesus spoke many thousands of years ago. The Father, the universe, and I are one. The only way to bring about manifestation of heaven on earth is via mass consciousness. When enough people have raised their vibrations high enough that they are consciously living and co-creating as their Christ was and is, or Buddha, or whoever you believe in and hold high, then heaven can manifest right here on earth in that beautiful consciousness, because only then can one achieve true spiritual ascension. Individual Christhood is available to all who choose to master ascending into their own divinity. So I'd like you to know that it is my belief, as well as I believe through example of Jesus and Buddha, that though many churches would say this is not true, meditation and prayer are much the same. It's about going within to that universal ascension with God and light. So this week, try to follow Christ consciousness by allowing yourself to have a state of mind that makes your goal and others that you contact shine in the light of love and peace. Now, I know that may sound like hippy dippy stuff, but on the other hand, it is all about what Pope Francis has brought in the middle of America. And yes, he says he is against corporate America, but then, as I tell my Republican husband, you know, when you say Pope Francis is a liberal hack, you have to remember that Jesus was a liberal. Jesus was persecuted because of his beliefs. Jesus was also a threat to political leaders simply because his way of thinking was dangerous to them, just as the thought of cleaning the earth. I hear that there is even one pope that wrote the 10 Commandments of the greening of taking care of the earth. And so through all of these things, and yes, Catholicism has its own specific, special beliefs. But if we are to talk about Christ consciousness as light workers, we have to learn that if we are going to read and be advisors, or to be even as walking people in Walmart or on the streets walking your dog, if you are filled with light and you share that light through a smile, through direct eye contact, not intimidating contact, but through gentle contact, I swear to you that whether you're 55, or 95, or 105, you will find that people just feel that essence about you, and they will react, and they will go and spread that feeling on to somebody else. Because that's the magic of Christ consciousness. That's right. So today, I'd like to let you know that the number to call in for a reading, if you should so want, is 602 666 6027. That's 602 666 6027. And I will happily read on an angel message reading for you, or any other life issue that is concerning you. And that is, again, 602 666 6027. All right, we're going to go into our archives and we're going to look at what comes up. We have Susan from Massachusetts and Emily from Connecticut. And we have, okay, and so far right now, I do want to say, and we have Gwendolyn, and we have Jean. And thank you very, very much for joining me today. If I look a little pale, the lighting is very bright here right now. And I want to say that I've had a heck of a day. I've been trying to practice setting up my giant crystal coven greenhouse that I set at the Renaissance Fair. And I got my hair caught in a zipper, and I faced a kind of crisis of whether I was going to sit there and hope that somebody found me and rescued me while I was caught on my zipper, or I was going to yank back and just go for it, which I did. And eventually I walked away from the project. And so I'm going to go back to that tomorrow because a heavy rain also started. So it's one of those complicated pop-up tents that is supposed to be easy, but it's not. So the Renaissance Fair is always a great time for me because I can meet so many people that I may not have met at my studio, but in person. And it's full of jousters and belly dancers and all kinds of wonderful October Renaissance costumes. It's just a really cool place to be in. It'll be probably my 5th year in a row. As a vendor, I'm finding that it's very, very difficult to be in many fairs anymore because many fairs are asking their vendors to have $3 million worth of insurance. Now, when you've only got a pop-up tent, no electricity, and the chances of a tarot card attacking someone, like a pit bull, are pretty slim. It makes the fair circuit a lot slimmer. And the one I'm going to kind of is just a little easier on us vendors, and thankfully. So let's take someone in the archive room here, or inside the InQuick. And the first one that I have is Jean. And Jean says, just lost sound, had to disconnect and call in again. Um, I'm not finding you. Oh, okay, wait a minute. That's somebody else. Okay, we're going to go to Susan. Susan from Massachusetts says, Hi, Ann Marie. I have not been working for a little while and would like to know if you see a job coming up for me and how my finances look over the rest of this year. Thank you very much. Well, Susan, because this is a spiritual show, I would appreciate it if you would allow me to start out with a energy reading or an angel message reading. That kind of helps me to connect with you rather than throw time frames that are always my most approximate reading. Time is flexible. So I will look at an angel message reading for you, Susan, first, and then I will go into any other detail work that you want concerning the other. Here is what your angel message reading came up with. Susan, for whatever reason, it says that lately you have been having trust issues. Now, trust issues is upside down, and trust would mean that you have been being trusted, worthy and trusting in others. But the card is upside down, which indicates that you have either found yourself filled with doubts or a sense, Susan, that someone may have hurt you or pulled the wool over your eyes in some way. Your reading says that in the past, you didn't know how grateful, and this is the card of grateful, you should have been for any job that you were with. You never imagined that you'd find yourself in this position. Your reading says, at first, you were relaxed and you felt like there was no big deal, no pressure. But as time went by, you suddenly found yourself very scared, trust again upside down. And that says that one of the things you must remember, Susan, is to, and this is the card of communication. Communicate, get out there. I haven't seen, and if you want to call in, you can, but I haven't seen any job interviews that you would like me to read on. But your reading says it's important that you get out there more and spend some time communicating with people that may not know necessarily that you're out there and they're not going to come knocking on your door. The last thing I show, and this is the card of respect, but it's upside down, which says that lately it's been very difficult for you to respect, of course, your life circumstances because you're starting to get a little bit paranoid and scared about not having a job. So if I look at, and again, time frames are always an approximate. I am not the queen of time frames, but if I look at what seems to be an approximate time frame for you to find a job, in all honesty, I have 3, and that could be 3 weeks, Susan, or it could be 3 months. If it is 3 months, we're looking at November. If it's 3 weeks, then you're looking at sometime in the middle of October. So, one thing for sure, get out there, communicate more, talk to people, and make sure that next time you connect with me, have a job interview for me to read on for you. And that'll show me that you're out there and really working hard to get those jobs. All right. We have Emily, and Emily is from Connecticut, and she says, Hello, I have applied for a couple of positions, front desk at an inn and front desk at a gym. Do you have any insight for either of them for me this month? Okay, more job questions. So we're going to first start out with an angel guidance reading because this is a spiritual show, as I said. And let's look at what comes up as um, a position. If I look at the front desk of a gym and I look at that, Emily, and what comes through says, that looks very good for you. I believe that you could find a good position with a gym. Let's look at in comparison with a the front desk at an inn, and if I look at that, I have for the front desk of an inn, no. So that says to me, Emily, that the uh, gym looks more positive for you, and I hope and pray that that works for you, and just make sure that you're persistent and make sure that you go after that. That looks like your best opportunity. I am going to play a little bit of music, and let us go into. I'm going to do a meditation. And this is a meditation with Lana Keela, who was my guest last week. And let's see if we can not play all of it, but it's called the 10 Powers of Choice. All righty. Let me see. Whoops. I think we're going to go off that one. For whatever reason, that one did not come through. I'm going to try that one more time. That sounded more like the 10 powers of Satan, which would be very contradictory to Christ consciousness. Let's look at that one more time and see if it comes through.
You can change the way you see things, the way you experience things, and the way you do things. Own your mana iho, your self-power, your powers of choice. The power of responsibility. I choose my thoughts, my feelings, my words, and my actions. I am the master of my inner world. Everything I desire, all the love, happiness, peace, and abundance is within me. And I choose thoughts and feelings of love, happiness, peace, and abundance, whatever the circumstances. I have the power to make a conscious choice in every moment. The power of clarity. I choose to enter my mind with the light of awareness. I choose to live my life in the truth of now. I am at peace with myself and at peace with the world. The power of relaxation. I choose to soften the contours of my consciousness and simply be here now. I relax my breath. I relax my body. I relax my mind. I allow life to flow through me like a river. I choose to let go and let God in this perfect moment. I am one with myself and at one with what is. The power of presence. I choose to rest deeply in the power of this present moment. I choose in this moment to awaken and to know myself as I really am. I choose in this moment to know myself as a divine creation of infinite potential. And in this moment, I am whole and I am holy. In this moment, I simply am. The power of love. I choose to say yes to life, and I open wide to welcome everything. I see through the eyes of my heart, and I see perfection in everything. I am a lover of life, and my love blesses the world with its holiness. The power of gratitude. Gratitude is a conscious choice I make in every moment. I choose to see everything as a gift from the divine. I am available for all that is good in my life. I am available for all that is God in my life. The power of forgiveness. I choose to know that all forms are born from divine mind. I choose to see the light of God in everyone and in everything. I am whole and I am holy. I see the world through the eyes of holiness. The power of trust. I choose to live in the wonder of now. I choose to experience every moment as an adventure, to be met with eyes wide open and belly soft. I am at one with God, because God is with me wherever I go. The power of service. I choose to serve God by making myself available for the download of my divine mission. I am here to shine the light of my magnificence on everything I say and do. I am here to know the truth of my infinite potential. I am here to remember my divinity and to manifest my destiny. And finally, the power of action. I choose to remember that I am a spiritual being of infinite magnitude. I choose to inhabit my eternal radiant nature. I am the light of God. I am the light of the world. You are loved. You are blessed. And so it is. Aloha ke akua.
And that was our guest of last week, which was Lana Keela. And today's subject is Christ consciousness, which again, Lana is letting us know another just basically exactly what we have been speaking about, which is Christ consciousness is a state of mind, a goal all light workers seek to attain on their spiritual journey to oneness with God. And it's never been more obvious through Pope Francis, who I think is a wonderful, wonderful energy to come into this highly politically charged, me, kind of consciousness in this country right now, to let us know that it starts within us, and that, whether you meditate, pray, or help others all day long, you have to go within yourself and remember your truth and take your rightful place as that truth. Walk your talk as the Christ being and the son of daughter of God in the universe that you are. I noticed that we have a call from Phyllis from Massachusetts, and I want to thank her for calling today. So let's go for Phyllis, and then we have another unlisted call from California. Hey, Phyllis, how are you? Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Hi, how are
Hello?
you today? Hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, I'm talking to you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can
Yes.
hear you.
Oh, good. Well, we've got some laughter there. Yes, yes, yes.
I know when you said Phyllis, wait a
Oh,
minute,
I'm sorry.
I'm not.
Well, oh, you were waiting for Phyllis to speak. I'm so sorry. You and Phyllis are in the room, but your call just came up, unlisted call from California. So, I didn't know whether
Really?
Phyllis. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's all that
Oh
came
my
up.
goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird because I am by far not from California.
Well, I love your laugh. And thank you very much for that laugh. You can go now. We're happy. All right.
Well, my job
Baby girl.
here is done.
Yeah. You shared your laughter.
Sometimes you just have to laugh. You really
Oh my
do.
gosh, yes. And
You do.
it's like so many people are so serious, and I think
Yes.
that someone with a wonderful laugh like you can just light up a room.
Oh,
It
thank
makes
you.
everybody
Thank
else
you.
feel happy. What is your
Yes.
first name? I know you're not Phyllis, so Phyllis, I'm sorry we haven't gotten to you yet, honey, but we're going to. But we want to take care of this wonderful laughing lady. I'd have to, if you were Native American, I would have to call you Laughing Lady. But
Oh,
what
I
is
like
your name?
that. Oh, actually, it's Gwen.
Gwen, hello.
Yes. Hi.
How are you? What can I do for you,
I'm well,
babe?
honey. I'm well. I'm well. Well, I just wanted to have a reading on some things that are changing for me,
Okay.
and one of them is that I'm starting to attract people of like mind.
Ooh,
And yes, and all of this
nice.
is because of my cube at work. I fixed
Because
it
of what?
up of
Because of your
my
cube?
cube, my cube at work. I
Oh,
put
your
in some
cube.
really nice
Okay.
pictures. Yes, my the area, my desk area where I sit, and I
Okay.
fixed it up, and I put some nice sayings, and I have my angels and my crystals, and I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not ashamed of this at all. And most people are like, how can you do that? And and what
Oh,
would the
no.
management say? And yes, but people are like, who sits at this desk? Who sits here? Whose cube is this? And they want to know. They're like, when I walk by your cube, there is such energy. There's just a beautiful feeling there.
Well, if you
And
could
that's
just
how
add a
I'm meeting
recording
people.
of your laughter that would go on
I know.
nonstop, it would probably add to the crystals and the angels and everything else. So,
Yes. It's just
well,
amazing that people will come over and just
what should we focus on?
um really am I shifting and changing what's really happening with
Ah,
me through
where
all
is your
this?
energy right now? Okay.
Yes.
So if we look at that and say your first name again.
Gwen.
Okay. Gosh, you say that so good. Can you do it one more time?
Gwen.
Oh, good job. Good job. So we're reading on Gwen and looking at her energy at this particular time. And what comes through says, um, you are at a time where you are twice as magnetic as you used to be. For some reason, it
Mm.
says in the past there was a time when you kind of had a blanket over your light.
Mm.
And your
Oh yes.
reading says that at this time, your communication skills are not only being expressed through what you say and your laughter, but it's also being expressed through your energy. It's communicating also. It consequently it says this is a time of more friends, but
Mm.
also more quality friends, and a sense that you're leaving behind you the drainers.
Yes. Mm.
At this particular time, it says what this does is quadruple your energy level to be more ambitious. And so
Mm.
you become, as we said about Christ consciousness and higher frequency, as Lana
Mm.
Keela was talking about. Um, I think that when we become like a mirror that reflects light and we start to get those smiles and those like-minded people, as you said, it increases our energy level, and suddenly we just want to do more, more, more. And your reading says, most of all, your cubicle and you are expressing great gratitude. So between your magnetic new energy, your abundance of energy to bring friends, your gratitude, I think that this is where you are in your life at this time.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And
So true.
was and you said there was another issue that we were discussing.
Oh, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? Um, well, the thing is that I'm just everything. I feel like I'm opening up more. Sometimes I really don't even have to say anything. Again, I seem to be attracting um, people into my life, but of course there are those who, will see that light and don't
Hmm.
really like it.
Yes, of
And one of
course.
them is yes, one of them is my boss.
Oh, and what is
Yeah,
your
we really
boss's?
haven't.
What's
What is
your
her
boss's
name?
name? First name?
It's Andrea. Andrea?
Andrea. So
Yes.
If I look at Andrea,
Hmm.
and I look at um, what uh, what is Andrea's take on all this, and it says Andrea is basically a very impatient person. She is 10 steps ahead of herself. And the sense is that it's actually caused her to self-sabotage and block her energy of anyone that is living in the now. And through your gratitude and through your magnetism, you're living in the now. And it says that even though she sees that you are somebody that is of quality and you're living ethically and you're somebody that has a light heart, there's a sense that it intimidates her because she
Yeah.
doesn't. So it's like
Yeah.
two magnets that repel each other,
Yes.
and she is your opposite at this time. If I look at what do you do about this situation and looking at that, and your reading says that at this time, Just understand less is more. You do nothing. You realize that the more that you try to do, the more you will intimidate her. And
Yeah.
that at this point, um, trying not to, when you think about all of the people of light workers and people that are religious or things, the one thing that kind of terrifies people is somebody that's going to cram their beliefs down their throat, right?
Mhm. Yes.
So I believe
Yes.
that she's not at a place to accept your light and in fact cannot even respect it simply
Yes.
because she's somebody that has very low self-esteem and very negative. So
Yes.
uh, you know you can't worry about this, and the less you try, the better off you'll be.
That's true. You're 100%. No, you're more than 100% correct. You're spot on, because I'm okay with it. I'm really okay with it. I mean, we're pleasant. Hi, good morning, and and that's okay with me. But
Yes.
I don't ask for anything more, and I don't ask for anything less. I just come in, I do my job. I'm there at work. I just do what I need to do. I'm
Right.
always there. To
Right.
not. I could see that. Yeah, that I could. So I keep a low key, and I'm okay. And I'm okay with that. I don't ask
Yes.
anything from her. I try to take care of things that I need to take care of. I have rarely asked her for anything. I just don't.
And that's the best thing to do, and I think by far
Yes.
you'll go farther in trying to work with her and to intimidate her less when she sees that you can be a person of light that is compassionate to her negativity,
Yes.
and that
Yes.
nobody is saying that to be a person of light is something that is better than everybody else. It's just that
Exactly.
it brings in so much more positive stuff, but it also brings in sometimes hatred and
Yes.
dissent
Yes.
and anger from people
Yes.
who are negative. And that's probably where
Yes.
Christ consciousness comes in, and why he was
Yes.
persecuted, or why anybody that is a
Absolutely.
person of light sometimes ends up being not
Absolutely.
treated so great by the people that are
That's true.
in leadership positions that
Yes.
believe being a
Amen.
hard ass is the best way to be.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And when you talked about having the cloak over me,
Hmm.
that's what I've been doing, because I've
Hmm.
seen what happens. You're persecuted if you, as long as you dim your light and you just cover it up, you can move through life. So you think. So you think.
Right,
But you're
right.
not you're not being authentic, and and you can't continue that, and that's why I've taken the cloak off.
Taking the cloak off, put the cubicle in the angels and the light,
Yes.
and who
Yes.
comes to you is meant to be. Thank you so much, and thank you for
Absolutely.
sharing your
Thank
laugh.
you. Thank you. You're so beautiful. I absolutely adore you. Adore
Oh,
you.
Gwen, thank you so much. Well,
I
I'll take you to
do.
coffee tomorrow, okay?
Okay, sounds good. All
I
right,
don't know where
honey.
you live, but California? Is that where you're at? Are you in
No, I'm
California?
in Massachusetts. I'm nowhere
Oh,
in California. I'm
oh,
in
Gwen, there's
Massachusetts.
Gwen. Okay, Gwen, you're second. Okay, now I see you. Okay, bye, honey.
Bye. Many blessings. Bye bye.
Many blessings to you. Okay, now we're going to take the unlisted caller from California. Hello, unlisted caller from California.
Oh,
Hello.
hey, this is Ashish. Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, Ashish. How are you today?
Good, I'm good. How are you? It's been
Oh,
long.
good. Yes, and how are you? And what can I read on for you today?
Well, I wanted to, get a reading from my wife. Her name is Swati, and I
Okay.
want to see if, I mean, she interviewed in the same company as me, and it starts with the company name starts with FIS.
Okay.
ERV. So if I want to see if she's going to get a job there or
Okay. Can
not.
I look at how they perceive her? Did she have an interview?
Oh yes, she already had an interview.
Okay. Okay. Let me see how they perceive her at this point in her interview. All right, and then I'll tell you.
Hmm?
Okay.
Okay.
So when I look at how they perceived her, the first thing that comes up is she says that they thought that she was very intelligent. They
Mm-hmm.
felt that she was very calm and grounded. Um, they felt also that she was very modest. And if I look at, is there, will they hire her for this job? And if I look at that, and I'll just tell you as honestly as I see it, and it says, Um, I believe they will, but I'm shown a hire that could either take 2 weeks or that it may not be a position that would be filled until perhaps even um, end of October, November time. So there's a little wait, but on the other
Mm-hmm.
hand, I do feel she'll get the job.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I was hoping for. She really wanted the job, and then, um, the interview and everything went fine. We're just right now waiting for. Yeah, but I think that'd be good.
Yeah, I think that they really liked her. And for whatever reason, this little waiting time, maybe somebody is leaving a position and they have to give them respect. I don't know, but I would say it looks good for her.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Thank you. Thanks, Ann Marie. Can I ask one more question? I know you have
You
other
betcha.
people
You
waiting for
betcha.
you. I mean,
There's
yeah.
very
So
few
I
of you
think
today. Okay.
oh, okay. So another question is for me. As you know that I talked about it. Um, I have a full-time job, and then I'm doing business on the side, which has been going great. I mean, it was doing okay. I mean, I was able to manage with my full-time job. But do you see it growing and coming next year, or um,
Okay. I only read
you
for
know
12 months time, but if you want me to do
yeah,
like
right, yeah,
a little financial monthly for you then, kind of
yeah,
like for the next 5 months maybe.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
exactly, yeah. That'd be good.
Okay. So I have October, November, December, January, and February. October, it looks strong. November, it says maybe a little slower. December looks strong. And then the first of the year, there's about a 2 month time where it says you may start to get a little tense because you
Mhm.
feel that perhaps things have slowed down, but don't worry about it. It's kind of the first of the new year, um,
Right.
slow down time. And I show it will perk right up. And the
Mhm.
rest of the year looks extremely good for you. I'm especially in I'm going to say March and April and May and June. It just seems as if it's really picking up to a higher level for you. But
Okay.
there could be a little bit of inconsistency at first.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I was hoping for.
All right. That's what I see.
Thank you. Thanks, Anne Marie. You've always been helpful. I mean, last year, I was going through a tough time, and you helped me get through it, when my father was not
Oh,
doing
bless
well.
your heart. Bless your heart. Take care, honey. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thanks. Yeah. Bye.
Deborah from Iowa. Hello. Deborah. Deborah, are you
Hello?
there? Yeah. Deb. Deb, I can
Hello?
hear you.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Do you do spirit readings?
Well, what kind of spirit are you looking for? A crossing over reading?
Um, no, I guess my spirit reading, like what my spirit has information for me.
Are you, are you looking for an angel reading? Is that what you're looking for? Or
I guess I could have an angel reading. That's fine. Yes.
okay. Well, if you have a question specifically, Deb, just go ahead and ask me about a part of your life, and then I can just zero in on that, or I can give you an angel reading, whichever you want.
Oh, okay. well, my question would be about my gifts, my
You're,
psychic gifts. What I'm exactly supposed to be doing with them.
okay, so let's just look at, first of all, what comes up around your psychic gift, okay? And if
Okay.
I look and if I look at that, it says that your psychic gift, and this really resonates well with our subject today of Christ consciousness, of being a good light worker. It says at first, I don't think you were even aware of how powerful your spiritual gift was. But it says that you've become more and more receptive to your inner guidance, your inner truth, and that your job is to, it says, give gratitude, and gratitude can be also in honoring people with problems, or to give some kind of I'm not sure what this means, giving gratitude as part of your gift, but it says that you are going in a direction that has not been completed yet. I believe that the best way to achieve maximum spiritual connection with your angels and with your psychic energies is to remember that right now, being able to show, one of the things I think that people don't realize is that when they are depressed or when they are down on themselves, they're really beating up their angels. Because my feeling, and I even say that on my Achieve Radio write up, is that we are vehicles of flesh and blood for our angels. And when we don't take care of their car, or if we start becoming down and depressed, and we don't take care of ourselves, what we are doing is the equivalent of not changing the oil, and or putting flat tires on our car. We are the car for our angels. So by you being good to you, you being sure that you use your psychic energy every day. I don't know in what way your gift is strong. Are you a medium, or or do you use a tool, or what is it you use?
Well, there's times I use cards. I've used
Okay.
cards.
Okay.
I I do like healing. When healing, like when I touch somebody, I get information.
Uh-huh. And so,
That either a spirit, will show up, or an angel will show up, or something like that happens to me.
okay, and are you using that gift on people coming to you?
Well, I want to use, I'm using it at times, and I want to use it more, but I guess I kind of don't know how to start that, because um, I want to kind of have a business too, and I kind of don't know how to start that right now either. So, yeah.
Well, all I can say is that right now, just remember Christ consciousness, which is to live within the light of your own gratitude to your angels. Remember two things that help all angel readers. When you feel a feeling of heaviness in your feet, or you feel a tiredness on you, that is your angel guide saying no. If you feel a sense of champagne bubbles and excitement, following your excitement is a way of saying yes. I believe that right now, the best thing to do is go through friends or through people that you see on the street, that just go up to them and use whatever skills you have. A coffee house, anything that can give you a chance to try to use your services will be able to help you to get better at them. And that's all that I can tell you for now, because I only have 1 minute and 33 seconds left. Call back in the next show and we'll discuss this, all right? And I'll be on next Wednesday. All
Oh,
right?
okay. Thank you very much.
We'll discuss this more in detail.
Okay,
I
I'll
want to
call you
say,
next.
all right, I'll look forward to that. I do want to say that I do see Melissa and Chandra, and unfortunately, I just don't have enough time, but I do want to send blessings. I can tell you if I look at a one card reading on your finances from Chandra from New York, and it says, this is a time, I think, for you to be a little more motivated. You can spend a little more money these days. I think you'll be okay. Be very, very modest with your spending, though. No new cars, no new refrigerators until tax time. Okay, play it modest, and you'll be fine. Melissa, your angel reading, real quick, and I'm sorry I have 1 minute to do that. It says, pay attention to your instincts. Your angels are speaking to you. Listen to them. Know without a doubt that your honesty is beautiful. Bye.
Psychic radio, holistic radio, spiritual radio. This is AchieveRadio.com. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/achieveradio.
Hi, I'm Ann Marie at Achieve Radio's Tarot Joy. Come on upstairs. Grab yourself a tapestried pillow and get a down-home, honest reading with 30 years Master Tarot channeling experience. In addition, I will have a weekly spiritual guest from around the world. That's 2 readings per call for you. After the show, I invite you to come on over to thecallingoflight.com. I offer PayPal readings at 15-minute or 30-minute sections of time. All yours. To thecallingoflight.com.
Hoping to find a way out.
Psychic radio, holistic radio, spiritual radio. The oldest and most trusted station of its kind in the world. This is AchieveRadio.com.
It's been a too long time with no peace of mind, and I'm ready for the times to get better.
What if we got rewarded for every good decision?
Dinner. Meal needs a vegetable. Check.
Amazing!
Vegetables cooked with a healthier oil instead of butter?
Fantastic!
Replacing bad fats with healthier fats, like those in canola or vegetable oil, is good for your heart. Take up the challenge for good health, because the you of the future will say,
fantastic!
Visit heart.org/face the fats. Canola Info proudly supports the American Heart Association's Face the Fats campaign.
You may have seen the question in Parade magazine about it. MSN made it one of the top 5 in an article they wrote about it. And journalists around the world are asking, whatever happened to them? What is it that's bringing up all this attention? Well, it's manners, the need for good manners. Publishers Barbara Ross and Nicholas Beatty have brought the quintessential guide to manners for children back into print with their Goop series. You know the Goops. The Goops, they lick their fingers. The Goops, they lick their knives. These wonderful books, originally written by Gillette Burgess over 100 years ago, are now available for a new generation to enjoy and to learn from. Children the world over have loved these classic poems, and now you can own them to share with your children and grandchildren.